I'm Roman Yossi of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Matt Duchesne of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Justus Aros of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Ryan Johansson of the Nashville Predators.
You're listening to the Renegades of Puck
with Crazy Charlie.
Welcome to the bunker. Welcome to the Renegades of Puck podcast. I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier, and before we get to the no half-step in hockey coverage, let me direct you to our home website, renegadesofpuck.com. Once you go to renegadesofpuck.com, you'll learn everything you need to know about the show, and once you're good and educated about the show, you can click on that merchandise tab. That's where you're going to find our classic logo t-shirt, our pride logo t-shirt, all of our special event t-shirts, and don't worry, we still have all the gimmicks you've come to know and love from the Renegades of Puck. Socks, wall art, throw pillows, bed sets. You can outfit your entire home from the Renegades of Puck online store, and we would appreciate if you would go ahead and do that. We've sold out so that you can buy in. Social media, critical importance to this independent hockey operation right here. You can follow us on the following platforms, please. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and, of course, TikTok. You can also find us on YouTube and give us a subscription right there. Well over 200 subscribers now. We sure do appreciate each and every one of you. You can also find our behind-the-scenes live stream on Twitch, and you can find us on a numerous amount of audio platforms. Just search Renegades of Puck in your preferred platform. If you'd like to become a sponsor of the show, you can go to Venmo, search Renegades of Puck, or just scan the QR code that's currently on your screen. Thanks to generous renegades just like you, we've been able to upgrade significantly our technology and our equipment here in the bunker. New microphone, new lighting, new computer coming soon. We sure do appreciate all of the assistance. Every dollar put into the show goes to helping us build our future and our ambitions. We have a whole lot of projects that are coming online very soon. Now, I know it's time to get to the no half-step in hockey coverage, so let me deliver the goods. It's time for operation number 714. That's right, show number 714 now for the Renegades Puck. And at this moment in hockey history, the Nashville Predators currently find themselves in 5th place in the Central Division. They have played 50 games on the season already. 50 games, it's flying by. They have a record of 25, 19, and 6. 56 points. They have a home record of 14, 8, and 3, which is where their next game will take place. They've scored 140 goals for. They have given up 147 against. They have a goal differential of -7. The Nashville Predators' next opponent is the Arizona Coyotes, who sit in 7th place in the Central Division. They've skated in 3 more games than the Preds, meaning 53. They have an overall record of 17, 28, and 8, 42 points. That has them 14 points behind the Nashville Predators. On the road, a record of 6, 20, and 6. They have only scored 142 goals in the season. They've given up 189. That is a goal differential of -47, but it's not even the worst in the Central Division. That belongs to the Chicago Blackhawks. Since I said Central Division and we are in a Central Division matchup, let's give you the standings overall for the Central. The Dallas Stars are still in first place after 54 games skated. They have a record of 30, 14, and 10. That's good for 70 points, 14 points ahead of where the Nashville Predators currently sit. The Winnipeg Jets are in second place. They have 67 points. Colorado Avalanche have 60 points. Minnesota Wild also have 60 points. Then you'll find the Preds in 5th place at 56. St. Louis at 51. Arizona 42. Chicago in last place and really pulling up the basement at 37 points. So the Nashville Predators sit 4 points behind an automatic qualifying spot for the NHL playoffs, and they are well within hunt in the wild card. Everybody in the Central Division seeming to come up with a victory on Saturday. Nothing seemed to favor the Nashville Predators on the scoreboard. Now, let's get back into this next matchup. The season series between the Preds and the Coyotes. Already 1 game played, 2 more games after this. Let's go back to November and talk about the 21st. The Preds scored a 4-3 victory in the shootout. The captain Roman Yossi with a goal and assist for 2 points. Duchesne and Granlund were your other goal scorers, and it was Saros in net for the victory. These two teams will skate again, both times in Arizona. Later this month on the 26th, the Preds will be out there in the desert. Then again, on March the 9th, they'll return to Arizona. So 3 games against the 7th place Arizona Coyotes, meaning 6 points on the line between the Nashville Predators and the Arizona Coyotes moving forward. Now, For the Nashville Predators, some tough competition coming up after this game. Thursday, the Boston Bruins, who have been the story of the entire season and are almost unbeatable. I say almost because recently they've actually lost a couple of games. Thursday is when the Bruins will be in town. Saturday, the Florida Panthers will be at Bridgestone Arena. Sunday, the Preds are in Minnesota for a critical Central Division matchup against the Wild. The 21st versus Vancouver, and then the 23rd in San Jose versus the Sharks. First time the Preds have seen the Sharks since the first two games of the season. Injuries for the Nashville Predators becoming now suddenly more of a story. Carrier another 1 to 2 weeks before his upper body injury is resolved. Borowiecki still on injured reserve. And now Philip Forsberg, and we put question mark because as of the end of hockey on Saturday, still no word on whether he is day to day or if he is out, and we hope to get an update as soon as possible. But we know Philip Forsberg left the game and was seemingly injured, and not to speculate, but seemed like he is probably going to be out for at least the next couple of games. I'll wait till we get more word before I discuss further. The Arizona Coyotes' most recent stretch of action will go back 5 games. On the 26th of January, it was a 5-0 victory versus the St. Louis Blues. On the 28th, a 2-1 overtime loss at the Anaheim Ducks. And then they had their all-star break, come back on the 6th of February with a 3-2 victory versus the Minnesota Wild. On the 10th of February, a 4-3 overtime loss at Chicago. And most recently on the 11th, a 6-5 overtime loss at St. Louis. Vejmelka was in net. He took the loss 31 out of 37. The matchup between these two teams, the stats are their stats. I'll just leave it at that. I'll let you make the decision on how gross they are. Goals for the Nashville Predators, 2.76 on the season. That's 26th overall in the NHL. The Arizona Coyotes are generating 2.64 goals per game. That's 28th in the NHL. When it comes to goals against, the Preds 13th in the league, giving up 2.92 per game, while Arizona gives up 3.53 per game. That is 25th overall in the National Hockey League. Shots for Preds, 31 per game is 19th. 25.9 on net per game for Arizona is dead last in the NHL. When it comes to shots against, Arizona's giving up 35 per game. That is 31st in the NHL, one spot from last. The Preds, though, are 29th in the NHL in shots against, giving up 34.2 per game. When it comes to the power play, neither of these teams or any of their special teams, frankly, is all that attractive. The power play for the Nashville Predators, 16.4% conversion rate, or 26 out of 159. That is 28th in the NHL. The Coyotes' power play is 18.9%, 31 of 164, 25th overall in the NHL. The penalty kill, the Preds 12th best in the league. They've given up 33 power play goals against. Their kill rate is 80.7%. The Arizona Coyotes have the 24th rated penalty kill in the NHL, 75.6%, and they have given up 48 power play goals against. That is a massive number. Individual stats for these two teams. Let's start with the visiting team, the Arizona Coyotes. Keller is tops in scoring for the Arizona Coyotes, 21 goals, 27 assists for 48 points. Schmaltz at 13 goals and 21 assists for 34 points. Krause 17 and 12 for 29. Ghost Bear 9 and 20 for 29. And Chychrun, who usually has very, very good games against the Nashville Predators, he is usually a pest for the Preds. 7 goals, 21 assists, 28 points on the season. And in net, Vejmelka has a record of 14, 17, and 5, a .906 save percentage, and a 3.24 goals against average. Looking at the home team, the Nashville Predators and their statistics, the captain Roman Josi, 12 goals and 31 assists for 43 points, leads the Nashville Predators. 31 assists, is also number 1 overall in the Preds. Philip Forsberg, now out injured for an undetermined amount of time. 19 goals is tops on the team. 23 assists at that. 42 points is second overall in scoring. Matt Duchene is 16 goals and 25 assists, has 41 points. That's third. Granlund 6 and 22 for 28. Johansson 11 and 15 for 26. UC Saros picks up his 20th victory of the season, now 20-14 and 5, a 919 save percentage, a 2.73 goals against average. His numbers continue looking good, as I truly believe that UC Saros will find himself as one of the top 3 goaltenders in the NHL this season and a finalist for the Vezina Trophy by the time we complete the next 32 games. But we got to talk about just the next game and the last game. We've now got you caught up on what's going to happen and previewed the Arizona Coyotes. We've now got to go back and talk about the Nashville Predators in their previous game. It's called the Rebirth Sports Full Game Recap, and it's coming up next.
Hockey players are as unique as the game itself, and your uniform should be tailored to fit you. Rebirth Sports is your sports apparel tailor. From shells, bags, warm-ups, hats, hoodies, branding, and more, let Rebirth Sports be your custom hockey tailor.
And don't forget to tell them they do more than just hockey.
Rebirth Sports on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Rebirth Sport, a match made in hockey.
We go all the way back to February the 11th of the year 2023 when the Nashville Predators were in Philadelphia to take on the Flyers in a Saturday afternoon game. John Hines deploys his lines in the following way: Forsberg, Glass, and Duchesne, Niederreiter, Johansson, and Granlund. And listen up for this line combination: Trenin, Sissons, and Jeannot. The Herd line reassembled for the first time in quite some time. Smith, Parson, and Jankowski make up your fourth line, so Jankowski getting back into the lineup. McDonough and Yossi, Ekholm and Luzon, Gravel and Fabro make up your defensive pairings. UC Saros gets the starting net for the Nashville Predators. 27 seconds into the first period in Philadelphia, Ekholm's got the first shot of the game. It's stopped by Hart. 1:46 into the first period, Saros gets his first save of the game. That comes on Farabee. We go all the way to 7:34 of the first period. That's where Jankowski hits the posts off of the rush. 10:17 of the first. Yossi breaks up a 2-on-1, intercepted the pass attempt across the middle of the slot. An incredible breakup right here, and he did it in an incredibly smooth way and looked damn good while he was doing it. 10:24 of the first period, UC Saros comes up with a save on Hayes plus Konecny's follow-up. 14:21, Hart comes up with a save on Ekholm's wrist shot. First shot on goal by the Nashville Predators in 11-plus minutes. Now, coming off the Vegas game, it's not exactly what you wanted to see, going 11 minutes without a shot on goal, but that's exactly what the Nashville Predators have done here in the first period. 15:55, the first Saros comes up with a save on Tippett. He was all alone in front and then got his own rebound for the follow-up opportunity. 18:04 of the first. Hart comes up with a save on Trenin at close range off of the rush. 19:40, Van Riemsdyk hits the post. Saros has to scramble, and he's able to keep the rebound out of the net. 19:55 of the first period, Philip Forsberg is hit by Ristolainen in the corner. He leaves the game injured. The hit looked to be clean. Philip Forsberg, though, was clearly very much not feeling good. He left the game immediately. No word on the injury, no timetable for his return. He would not return to this game. We know that for sure. This hit will be talked about and analyzed for some time to come. We hit the end of the first period, and words are being exchanged quite a bit here at the end of the first period. The teams come together, but then they separate and go to the locker room. Philadelphia outshoots Nashville in the first period, 7-5. 13 seconds into the second period, and teams have not forgotten the words that were exchanged at the end of the first. It's Jeannot and Delorier, 5 minutes each for fighting. It was a good long scrap. It ended in a draw, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see a lot more of it. 1:43 into the second period, Niederreiter fired up by that fight, bringing the Jam his 14th goal of the season, gets a perfect deflection off of Matt Duchene's feet at the top of the crease, giving the Preds a 1-0 lead in Philadelphia. 2:23 into the second period, Saros comes up with a save on Konecny. 5:02, York's off the box, 2 minutes for holding on Cole Smith. This power play never got organized, and nothing more to report on that. 8:49 of the second, Hart comes up with a save on Niederreiter at 10:40 of the second period. Hayes, his 17th goal of the season, comes off of the breakaway. Patience to outweight UC Saros. Typically, that type of move doesn't work on UC Saros, but it did. It was a sweet score right here for Philadelphia. Really impressive breakaway goal by Hayes. It was a turnover that was caused by Philadelphia's physical play in the neutral zone that started everything. 11:03 of the second period, UC Saros comes up with a save on Delorier. 12:48 of the second period, Parsonen and Farabee get into a scrap. They're off to the box, 5 minutes each. 14:59, Saros comes up with a save on Braun, and physical play all over the ice for the final 5 minutes of the second period. At the conclusion of the second period, we have a tie game at 1 apiece. Philadelphia is out shooting Nashville 17-14 for the game. So the Preds generate 11 shots on net after only having 5 in the first period. 1:16 of the third period, Ekholm hits the post. 1:42 into the third period, Tippett hits the post. So back-to-back off the iron. 2:38 now. Hart comes up with a save on Fabro. 2:45, Hart a save on Jeannot. 4:21, Hart a save on Parsonen at the top of the crease. In 7:57, Hart continues to work, coming up with a save on Yossi. The Nashville Predators controlling and dominating for quite some time then at 8:50, Jankowski hits the post again, second time this game. It's really tight out there, but the Preds are controlling the play and getting most of the zone time here in the third period. We go all the way to 14:39 of the third period. Hart comes up with a save on Luzon, plus Cole Smith's follow-up 15:21. UC Saros now has to go to work, coming up with a save on Hayes' second breakaway of the game. This time, the glove for UC Saros is able to stop Hayes. 15:51, Saros a save on York. 17:11, Saros a save on Hayes from the slot, and then the two teams would play even up. A lot of back and forth between the faceoff dots for the final 2+ minutes. We would hit the end of regulation tied at 1 apiece. Philadelphia and Nashville each with 24 shots on goal. We drop the puck in the 3-on-3 overtime, and immediately, 34 seconds in, it's Matt Duchene winning this game for the Nashville Predators. His 16th goal of the season comes as Ryan Johansson enters the zone, gives a nice drop pass. Matt Duchene with a sick wrist shot beats Hart, and the Nashville Predators come away with the victory 2-1 in overtime. The Nashville Predators get one shot in overtime. Philadelphia doesn't get any, so the Preds end up out shooting Philadelphia 25-24 for the game and getting a huge 2 points. Obviously, with the rest of the Central Division playing later in the day and all of the teams in direct competition with the Nashville Predators in the middle of the division all securing victories, these 2 points and this extra point in the overtime session became incredibly important. The Preds go into Philadelphia and beat a 7th-place team. Now they'll have another 7th-place team on Monday night when they get to face off against the Arizona Coyotes. The Nashville Predators need to pick up these next 2 points. They picked up the first 2 points out of this back-to-back 7th-place matchups. Now they have 2 more critical points on the line. They've beaten Arizona once this year already. They're going to have to beat them again, and then 2 more times probably before the end of this season. Arizona could be the key points between the Nashville Predators making and not making the playoffs. Monday night's game is not just 5th place versus 7th place. It's the Nashville Predators' playoff future. If they have any hopes of making it, they need to pick up the points against teams below them in the standings. And 3 games against Arizona is the perfect place to pick up the 6 points you're behind the pace from last season. That's the Reverse Sports Full Game Recap. The Renegades of Puck are in the trench next. Full game analysis, box score, stats, opinions, all of it coming up next.
Hello. I'm Tracy, owner-operator of Strong Style Fitness. And that's me and my training assistant, Rizzo. And we are here to bring you fitness that meets you where you are by offering circuit classes, bar-inspired classes, Tabata workouts, boot camps, guided stretching, and more, all taught by a certified personal trainer, me. To learn more, go to our website, strongstylefit.com. Subscribe on YouTube at Strong Style Fitness. Follow on social media at Strong Style Fit. But most importantly, let's get you moving. It doesn't matter if it's your first workout or you've been doing it for years. Strong Style Fitness has the workout that meets you on your journey and helps you along the path to a happier, healthier life. I understand where you've been, what you were going through, and where you were going, and I want to take you there. We'll see you on the mat. Mwah.
On the Hayes breakaway, Hayes with the incredible patience and hands outweighted UC Saros, tucks the puck into the net. Again, that's a move that doesn't usually work against UC Saros, so that goes to show you the impressiveness of the Hayes scoring opportunity right there. But UC Saros was absolutely strong when he needed to be, and he secures a victory for the Nashville Predators on the road, his 20th of the season. UC Saros, again, did what he needed to do in this game, and he got the Nashville Predators victory. Let's talk about Matt Duchene. Picks up a goal, the game-winning goal in overtime. Great wrist shot. He's got a great release. He's got a great shot, and he's been going to the net, and he has been committing to offense with more authority. I think that comes with confidence. His confidence has been building and gaining, and he is definitely cutting to the net. He's knifing to the net a lot harder, a lot more effectively. In this situation, happened to be a wrist shot from the high slot, but Matt Duchene dialed in right now. The pass he made also on the Preds' first goal for his assist, the only Pred in this game with 2 points. Matt Duchene's pass to Nino Niederreiter at the top of the crease. Really impressive feed right there. So passing, scoring, skating, doing all the things you need to do to play winning hockey. Matt Duchene committed to that today against the Philadelphia Flyers, and he had an excellent hockey game. I mentioned Nino Niederreiter. He got the other goal in this game since there's only 2 goals. We're going to go ahead and talk about Nino Niederreiter going straight to the front of the net with speed, authority, bringing the jam, and what a great deflection that he had. There also had 4 shots on goal. Highly noticeable in this game, was playing physical as well. 3 hits in this game. So Nino Niederreiter definitely had a very, very good game for the Nashville Predators today. Tanner Jeannot back as part of the Herd line. Good to see them back together. They were rather ineffective at the beginning of the year after being the heart, soul, and engine of this Nashville Predators team for the previous season plus. So to see them back together, you were hoping the Nashville Predators would get a little jump, a little bit of jam. Tanner Jeannot seemed to get a little bit more jam in his game today. He was definitely difficult to play against. He had 7 hits. He was very effective in this game, and he did have a fight in this game. It was a very strong bout. It was probably a draw. Went on for a long time. Shows you just the conditioning and the physical toughness of both of the players involved right there. But the Herd line back together. The Preds secure a victory. Hopefully they can deliver more of a message moving forward, because definitely they set the tone in the past, and if they can get back to that, well, the Nashville Predators will have refound something that really has been a good thing for them. Let's talk about Philip Forsberg and the injury. I believe it was a clean hit. I read all of the discourse. I read all of the debate online for the several hours after the game as I was waiting for the rest of the hockey day to conclude before recording this episode. And I think that the hit was clean. I think that the hit is going to be dissected, discussed, and debated. Did he sweep the feet out from under him? What exactly happened right there? From what I saw, Philip Forsberg just got hit clean and hard, and something unfortunate happened after that, and I hope Philip Forsberg is okay. He's obviously one of the premier offensive players, not just on the Nashville Predators, but after scoring 40 goals last year, he's one of the premier offensive players in the entire NHL, and I hope that he's okay. No word from the Nashville Predators as of late Saturday night on his availability for Monday, although I do not think he's going to be playing in that game. Hopefully we'll hear something about that on Sunday. But I thought the hit was clean. I thought it was an unfortunate circumstance, and for all the argument going back and forth, you have to take being a Nashville Predators fan out of it. Losing your top scorer, losing your best goal scorer, losing one of the best offensive players in team history to an injury can be very frustrating when it comes at the end of a big hit. But I didn't see anything that warranted that hit being called anything other than clean. Hits like that happen many, many times over the course of a game. This particular hit led to an injury, unfortunately, for Philip Forsberg, for the Nashville Predators, and for everyone around the NHL. Philip Forsberg being out there on the ice is good for everyone. The digital environment can be quite intimidating, time-consuming, and cumbersome, especially with all those other areas that need attention at your business, and that's why Stripe Digital Solutions is here to help. I know, because that's exactly what Stripe Digital Solutions did for me and the Renegades of Puck. From designing my home website and helping me create my merchandise to special event posters, brand building, and social media management. But it's not just that, it's so much more. Stripe Digital Solutions has helped me every step of the way. From startup to full-time operation, Stripe Digital Solutions has been there to assist and advise every single step of the journey. In today's fast-paced world, the path to success is having a strong digital partner, and nobody is better in the trenches than Brandy and Stripe Digital Solutions. Get the solution before it's even a problem with Stripe Digital Solutions. Taking a look inside the box score for the Nashville Predators, Matt Duchene was the goal scorer. Nino Niederreiter also scores a goal. Duchene set up Niederreiter. Glass was also involved with setting up Niederreiter. Ryan Johansson gets the primary assist and the only assist on Matt Duchene. Roman Josi also has an assist in this game. Shots on goal, 4 is the lead in the game. That goes to Nino Niederreiter. Block shots, Ryan McDonough blocked 4 in this game and looked really smooth doing it. Now, in the hits category, this was a very, very physical game. Jeremy Lauzon, 9 hits in this game. Almost broke the team record right there for a single game. Tanner Jeannot, 7 hits in this game. And again, reunited with the Herd line, and it did feel so good because the Nashville Predators were able to secure 2 points, and that's the only reason I would say that. Mikhail Granlund led the forwards in time on ice, 20-38. Unfortunately, Philip Forsberg leaves the game injured, the least amount of time skated of any player on the team at 5 minutes and 25 seconds. The captain, Roman Josi, leads the team in total time on ice at 25-20. Give Matthias Ekholm some stick taps as well, 24-15 15 in total time on ice. UC Saros gets the start, picks up the victory, 23 out of 24. Not the heaviest workload you've ever seen, but that doesn't mean it was easy for the starting netminder of the Nashville Predators there, having to come up with a huge stop on a second Hayes breakaway later in the game after Hayes had already beaten him. Let's talk to Brian Baston from ontheforecheck.com. He's got the charts you need to see, the numbers you need to know. You can find him on Twitter at Brian Baston, and you can watch him right now on Renegades of Puck TV. Brian, the show's all yours.
The Nashville Predators may have bounced back from Tuesday's embarrassing loss to Vegas today with a 2-1 overtime victory over the Philadelphia Flyers, but may have suffered a loss at the end of the first period that could very well sink Nashville's playoff hopes just a week and a half into the month of February. In the final moments of the first period, Rasmus Ristolainen delivered what seemed like a routine hit on Filip Forsberg into the boards, and the franchise all-time leading goal scorer dropped immediately to the ice and made what looked like contact with his head on the ice. Forsberg obviously did not return to the game, and the Predators have not yet released any information regarding his health, but one could imagine that the Predators will be without the team's leading goal scorer this year for at least the next few games. So what do the Predators look like without Filip Forsberg? That's the topic of tonight's One Big Stat. So let's start off with the basic stats. Filip Forsberg currently leads the team in goals with 19 this season. He's tied for the lead in points with 42 with Roman Josi, and has played in all 50 of Nashville's games. At the team level, he is second in total shots and shot attempts and leads in total expected goals, 18.1, which is pretty close to his actual goal total. So he's not overshooting. He's actually producing the quality and following up and finishing. With Filip Forsberg on the ice, he has been on ice for 62 goals at all situations, which makes up about 45.6% of all the goals. So on nearly half of all of Nashville goals involve Filip Forsberg being on the ice in all situations. Now at 5-on-5, he has been on ice for about 38.7% of all goals at 5-on-5, second behind Roman Josi. Now, looking at, again, he does just barely trail Roman Josi in a lot of categories, including he's got the third highest expected goal percentage on the team, but he does lead the team with 4.3 goals per 60 minutes, and second with on-ice expected goals at 4.4 per 60 minutes. So he's great offensively. We know that. He is among the top producers on the team. He is one of the leaders on the team in goals above replacement, and he actually sits in about the top 12% of the NHL in that metric. So let's look at that impact and what his impact on the ice, how that affects the Nashville. So again, we started with offense. Let's talk about offense at 5-on-5. These are statistics that are courtesy of hockeyviz.com, so make sure you check that out. With Filip Forsberg on the ice at 5-on-5 this season, Nashville averages 11% more offense and expected goals produced than league average, which is pretty impressive. Now, without Filip Forsberg, they are 2% below NHL average on offense. So there's a 13-point percentage difference that swings Nashville from a team that is below average to a pretty good amount, above the average. So Filip Forsberg obviously is a huge contributor on offense, but what about defense? Well, it does drop, but not very much. With Forsberg on the ice, Nashville's defense is about 8% worse than the NHL average, and without Filip Forsberg, just 7% worse. So not much of a difference. He's not going to affect. He's not going to really affect the defensive game as much. His absence is. Of course, but it's his offense that they're going to miss, and offense is something that Nashville's been lacking a lot. So that's an area that they really couldn't afford to lose. Lose in a player like Forsberg is that goal scoring ability. So what do you do without Filip Forsberg for the foreseeable future? Now, again, most of this is all speculation regarding his health and the extent of his injury, but it would be a smart bet to say that Nashville probably won't have Filip Forsberg for a week or two, if not longer. So how do you replace Forsberg in this lineup, and especially on that top line, which has really thrived since adding Cody Glass? Well, obviously, I think one of the first choices we could all think of is Juuso Parssinen, who's having a really great rookie campaign. In fact, he's 7th among all rookies in points per game, which is pretty impressive. So Juuso Parssinen obviously is no stranger to playing on the top line. He's had a lot of experience up there, and I think he could work out pretty well playing alongside Duchesne and Cody Glass. Yusuf Parson had an excellent game against Philadelphia in a game that didn't seem like anybody had a really great game. He led all skaters on both teams with an 82% on ice expected goal percentage, which was about 25 to 26% higher than any other player. We've seen how well he's done, and he's doing a lot of this performance playing on the fourth line with Colton Sissons and Cole Smith. So obviously he's getting that time in there with better players, but he's still producing when he's playing on the fourth line. So I think moving Yusuf Parson might be an excellent choice. That'll also allow Tommy Novak to re-enter the lineup alongside Mark Jankowski, which I believe both of these guys have had pretty good seasons so far. So yeah, no matter what happens with Nashville and Philip Forsberg, there's going to be a lot of pressure on Coach John Hines to do something. There's maybe not a less replaceable skater on this team than Philip Forsberg. There's a comparison with Roman Josi, and he also is a huge part of this offense, but I think Philip Forsberg provides that spark that Nashville needs, and unfortunately he just can't be there for these games, and they've got a tall task ahead of them to try and tread water or continue to add up points so they can continue their playoff push, but things aren't looking too great. And that's the topic of tonight's One Big Stat. Charlie?
I'm Crazy Charlie Saunier, captain of the Renegades of Puck. I'm also tired of the cold, tired of the dark, and tired of being landlocked. I'm also willing to bet that I'm not the only one who could use some sun, fun, and time in paradise with friends. That's exactly why I called our great friend Pete Weber. He told me, call Ships and Trips Travel, and now we're all going to Mexico. That's right, Renegades of Puck, July 15th to the 20th of 2023. Dreams Vallarta Resort in Puerto Vallarta is the destination to hang with Pete Weber in paradise. To join Pete and the Renegades of Puck in Puerto Vallarta, go to www.shipsandtripstravel.com. That's shipsandtripstravel.com, and just click on the ROP on vacation tab. Don't stay landlocked. Join the Renegades of Puck in paradise, July 15th to the 20th, 2023 in Puerto Vallarta. Pete Weber, the Renegades of Puck, and you. It's time to ditch those skates for flip-flops and fun in the sun. All right, before we get out of the bunker and wrap up episode number 714, there's just one more topic I wanted to share some more thoughts, expand my thoughts on from earlier in the discourse. Tanner Jeannot getting in a fight today happened after Philip Forsberg was hit and left the game injury. So Tanner Jeannot, while he did not immediately jump the player who had hit Forsberg, he waited until the second period, then challenged, then they fought. Now that is different than what we see often around the league. Alex Carrier is currently out injured because he jumped a player after a player hit one of his teammates clean. We see it go on all over the league. Have we really gotten to a point where every single clean, big, hard hit is going to be met by another player coming in and jumping them and forcing a fight to happen? We saw the other night, if you watch the New York Rangers and the Calgary Flames, Jacob Trouba walks that line. 2 big hits in that game, immediately jumped by a third player to get involved in a fight. Every single clean hit around the NHL that's a big hit seems to be now answered by a senseless, needless fight. I am all for a good scrap in the NHL, and I love when the players get after each other, but every time there's a clean hit, you do not have to go and immediately jump the player that delivered that clean hit and go ahead and start a fight. I think the instigator penalty, of course, comes into play and should be utilized more often when it comes to these particular situations. Sometimes officials seem to give the benefit of the doubt to say, well, it was just a reactionary thing. No, a third guy coming in and jumping someone after a clean hit should immediately be met with a 2-minute instigator and perhaps maybe a 10-minute misconduct moving forward. For the Nashville Predators, Tanner Jeannot getting in that scrap. To me, he's the type of guy who's typically involved in those types of plays, and he didn't go jump somebody right after the hit on Forsberg. But it was still one of those type plays. The Carrier example, the much better example, Alex Carrier should be in the lineup right now, playing big top minutes for the Nashville Predators going down the stretch for the playoffs, not out injured with an upper body injury because he chose to jump a player for delivering a clean hit on one of his teammates. Again, stick up for your teammates. I'm all for it. But when it's a good, clean hit, recognize it for what it is. Good, clean, hard hockey. Bringing the jam doesn't mean you should get jumped every single time. Okay, we're going to get on out of the bunker. It's been a long day of hockey, and I'm going to tell you real quick on my way out the door. Nashville Spartans, huge 5-1 victory over the Carolina Junior Canes over at the Gary Forsaker Ice Arena late tonight on Saturday night. If they win tomorrow, they basically make it to where the Carolina Junior Canes will have to win all 5 of their remaining games and go undefeated in order to tie the Spartans for the final playoff spot in the USPHL Southeast Division Premier level. So for the Nashville Spartans, a huge victory tonight. Feisty, furious, playoff-style hockey. I got to go call another game from the perch at 8 a.m. and then another one at noon. So we got to get out of the bunker. We got to get back to the perch, and we got to call Spartans as they prepare for glory. Swords up, Spartans. Can't wait to be back in the perch calling the game tomorrow. I'll bring you highlights a little bit later in the week of everything that happened over the weekend, but it was incredible, fiery, feisty hockey down there between the Spartans and the Junior Canes. Spartans coming away with the victory. All right, that's going to wrap things up here. Episode 714 is now in the book. Operation 714 is closed. I sure do appreciate Sean C. Smith and Brian Baston jumping in the trenches. I appreciate each and every one of you Renegades of Puck. It means a lot to me to have you in the trenches. And that's right, wearing my Spartans gear here still. Came straight out of the play-by-play booth, took the headset off, came straight to the bunker and recorded this episode right here. That's bringing the jam. That's how I like to do it. That's the essence of no half-stepping. I'm your host and Captain Crazy Charlie Saunier. Stick taps, love, and respect.